Brian, first of all, team news. How have Ashton Golden and Callum Watkins come through their tests?
Yeah, very good news. Both have been through a good process this week and have just been cleared to play, so that's fantastic news. As of Friday night against St Helens, we just thought they wouldn't be in a good shape on Monday, and if they fail a test on Monday, that would rule them out for Friday. So yeah, it's been great.
In terms of the build-up for playing Cass this week, has it been a good build-up?
It has been a good build-up, and whilst we're down on troops, there's the fellas are buoyant. You know, they're in good shape. We know it's going to be a big task, and you know, when we've got our preferred 13 out, you know, I don't mind saying our best 13. You know, Cass are an incredibly tough team to play against, and we're still down on troops, so we know it's going to be a tough game. But we're really looking forward to it. We're really looking forward to the test. And I said before the Saints game that it will give us an indication of where we're at now. The fallout from the Saints and the debrief from Saints meant that we've still got some stuff to do, both technically, offensively and defensively, which you would understand we have had round 6, round 7. But what came out of the Saints game is that we're healthy, we're good, we're playing for each other, defending for each other. And sometimes they're the better traits to have so early in the year. I think after Castleford we'll have another indication of where we're at, and we're looking forward to that challenge.
Having already played a game here at Elland Road, that Hull KR game, does it feel a bit more like home this time round?
Well, you know, in the build-up to the Hull KR game, it was good. And obviously it's not our home ground, but it's in Leeds, and you know, we're big friends of Leeds United, and our clubs are getting a stronger relationship than they ever have had. So to be back here again, yeah, it's good. And the second time round we'll be better at it. The process of the routine of coming in and getting ready and getting prepared for a game on a field that's not normally ours, we'll be better at that.
Over 20,000 tickets already sold for the game. It could be a fantastic advert for the sport as well as both clubs.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it good that? And this is why players are involved with it for games like this. And you know, we're very fortunate at Headingley that we got fantastic fans. And we have play in front of big crowds most weeks, but to get in front of some, you know, a 20,000+ crowd is it'll certainly be a highlight, you know, of the season so far. And let's hope it's a cracker of a game, and everybody's talking about the game, not just Leeds and Castleford fans, but rugby league fans in general, just talking about that's the standard of Super League, and that's where everybody would like to aspire to be. You
mentioned after the Saints game you thought the Myler Moon partnership was growing with every game. Is that something we're going to see come to fruition with more and more game time they get together?
For sure. The more they play together, the better they'll be. And Richie's game has probably started off as a 6 in his early part of his career, but he's an absolute general now on the field, and it suits us well. That's what our team needs, somebody in the middle telling them what to do. And Mooney has more of a running influence and plays off the cuff, I suppose, a little bit more. And you know, for them two dynamics to fit in well, I think people might just underestimate how big that is, where you've got a bloke who wants the ball all the time in Richie, and you've got Mooney who wants the ball when he needs it. And that relationship does take time to gel. So yeah, we're starting to see it. I was pleased with it from the off, actually. You know, in the warm-up games and the early part of the season, was very pleased with it. So against Saints we saw a bit more of it, and then by no means are they the finished article. They'll certainly get better.
We've seen Kevin Brown retire from international rugby. Do you think if Richie continues his work with us that he could be back in contention at England camp?
The answer is yes. Yeah, of course. I mean, it's a great debater, isn't it? The international team, and I'm sure there'll be another group of people saying, I wouldn't pick him in front of whoever. But if will he be in contention? Of course, he's got to be. You know, to be able to nail performances at the level that he does week in, week out, and to have a season of that. You know, that's why I think Luke Gale got in front. Not so much that he himself individually played well, is that he marshalled a very good team around the field and got used to that, and surely that has a bearing on whether you can do it on the highest stage. And you know, Richie's task this year is to keep on, you know, being one of our standout players, which has been so far this year. And if that's the case, surely he's going to be in contention.
Just finally on the guys who are still missing, is there anyone close to returning, maybe over the Easter period?
Yeah. Unfortunately, the answer is no. I don't think either Stevie Ward or Liam Sutcliffe, who are probably the closest, are going to come back. Brett Ferris maybe. They're all just at that part of their rehab where ordinarily you wouldn't play them. I wouldn't play any of them for the next 3 weeks. But because we're down on troops, and we're in this situation where if we didn't have so many injured at the same time, and there was only 1 or 2 injuries, I'd say to Stevie Ward and Liam Sutcliffe and Brett Ferris, now go get yourself cardiovascular fit, go spend the next 3 weeks. But we're not afforded that, and we need these bodies back as fast as we can. Whether it's next week or the week after, I can't tell you, because they're still in pain when they run. The task is, can they do a job even though they're going to be in pain? Again, I think people underestimate what these blokes go through week in, week out. So when they do play, and if it is next week, there won't be, they'll be in pain. They'll be carrying stuff, and it won't be healthy for them, but they're all putting their hand up and they all want to play. My task and the physio's task, Andy Barker, is to make sure that we're not doing it too soon.